This is Chris Videos. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. They'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw January 2nd, 2023 reviews. So yeah, Happy New Year to everybody else. And yeah, here we go, discussing about Monday Night Raw. Now we kick off the show right with the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn, the Bloodline, attacking security guards and stuff outside the ring, just beating down a bunch of security guards. So yeah, they are invading Raw tonight. They are tearing apart the steel steps and the announce table and stuff like that. So yeah, they're just beating down a bunch of security guards. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Owens comes out. He got some mic in his hands. Sami Zayn and all of them gets in the ring, and Sami grabs the mic. He goes like, "No, before you start talking, I want to tell you, you better stay away from us. We're not in a good mood tonight, and we're just going to cause chaos because of it." So yeah, that's what Sami Zayn was pretty much saying. And then, Kevin Owens is like, okay, I'll go down there and fight y'all then. I don't care. And then he's coming to walk down, and then all of a sudden we see Adam Pearce stopping Kevin Owens, and he goes like, "No, you're not going to go down there and fight him. We're going to get him out the ring this way." And then all of a sudden, a bunch of security guards starts running down. They get beat down by Solo Sikoa. Solo's just laying them all out with super kicks and all that. So yeah, the Enforcer just taking them all out. And then Kevin Owens just looks at Adam Pearce. He goes like, "Well, I'm going to have to do what I got to do pretty much." He runs into the ring, starts brawling with the Bloodline, but obviously 4-on-1, the numbers is caught up. So yeah, the Bloodline's beating him down in the corner and stuff. But then we see the Raw locker room coming out, saving Kevin Owens, brawling with the Bloodline. You had like the Street Profits. I seen Shelton Benjamin, Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander, and a few more people. So yeah, they came out brawling with the Bloodline, and the Bloodline got out of the ring and jumps over the barricade. But then they was leaving out, and then Adam Pearce was like, "No, says y'all want to come here to Raw and stuff and cause chaos, and you came to work. Y'all all four of y'all was going to be putting a match tonight." And yeah, we don't get the matches announced, but all four of them will be in the match tonight on Raw. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good segment to kick off Raw. But then after that, we see Byron Saxton backstage. He interviews the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. And, Bianca's going to be defending her Raw Women's Championship up next against Alexa Bliss. And she says that, that she ain't going to hold back nothing. That Alexa done this just because she mentioned Bray and, saying that Bray got something to do with this, even though she knows that she could control herself and all that stuff. That she says that she ain't going to, hold back or anything of what their friendship was and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Bianca said. But next, we're going to be seeing them two face off against each other for the Raw Women's Championship. And not only that, we got Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship tonight. So yeah, that match will be happening later on tonight. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. But before I talk about that match, there was a segment before that where we see Adam Pearce talking to the Raw locker room. You had Elias, the Street Profits, and Kevin Owens, the Street Profits, saying that they want the Usos tonight. And Kevin Owens was like, "Well, you already know I'm going to be fighting one of them. So you give me whoever." And then Elias was wanting Solo Sikoa. And a bunch of the other guys wants to be in the matches as well. Adam Pearce was like, "Look, I can't put all y'all in matches because there's only 4 of them. So I only need 4 people. So Elias, you'll be taking on Solo Sikoa in a music street fight. So yeah, with instruments and stuff like that." So yeah, that match will be happening later on tonight. And then the Street Profits will be teaming up with Kevin Owens to take on the Usos and Sami Zayn in a 6-man tag team match later on tonight. So yeah, those matches are now set. But then we get to the next match. It was the first match of the night. It was the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, versus Alexa Bliss, 1-on-1 for the Raw Women's Championship. This match, it was going pretty good. It was going back and forth and everything. The guy was out of the ring brawling and stuff at one point. Alexa Bliss just beating down Bianca. But then Alexa Bliss turns around and she sees a man wearing Bray Wyatt's mask. You know, that mask that he came out with at Extreme Rules? That same mask. So yeah, Alexa Bliss seen that, and then she starts getting like scared or whatever, throws Bianca back into the ring, climbs up the top turnbuckle, but then all of a sudden she sees another man wearing the same mask on the other side of the barricade. So yeah, she's seen that, and she gets down off the top turnbuckle, but then all of a sudden the Bray Wyatt logo starts popping up on the big screen, and we see Alexa Bliss like tweaking out pretty much, So yeah, she's like freaking out and all that stuff. But then she starts attacking the referee, just beating him down and stuff. And I guess this match ended in a no contest. After she beat down the referee got taken out, and then she starts jumping on Bianca, beating her down, throws her out the ring, throwing her into steel steps and stuff, and then laying her out with a DDT on the steel steps. She walks away, comes right back and hits a second DDT onto Bianca Belair, onto the steel steps, laying her out. Bianca was like bleeding from the chin, I think, or something like that. So yeah, Bianca got laid out and Alexa Bliss walks away. Referees is checking on the other referee and Bianca Belair. They brought a stretcher out to put Bianca on the stretcher. So yeah, that's what happened there. This feud is definitely not over. They'll probably have another match at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, for that match, I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was going along pretty good. I just hate when matches end and no contest, definitely title matches. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, now before I talk about the match with Elias and Solo Sikoa, there was a few things we got to talk about now. They showed a video of what happened during the commercial break with Bianca Belair, where she decided not to get on the stretcher, and Montez Ford came out to carry her out. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then we get to the next segment. We see Kathy Kelly interviewing the United States Champion Austin Theory. And Austin Theory was talking about how Seth Rollins is the past and he's the now, how he'll beat Seth Rollins tonight and retain the United States Championship, and he ain't no kid. So yeah, that's what Austin Theory was saying. And he was saying that last year was his year and this year will be his year as well. But yeah, that's everything that he was saying. But then we get to the next match. It was Elias versus Solo Sikoa in a 1-1 match in a Music City street fight. So yeah, we get to the match, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. They use a bunch of weapons and stuff like guitars and all that stuff. At the ending, we see Solo beating down Elias, laying him out and stuff in the corner, until we see Hardy come into the ring, which he is at ringside tonight for Raw. He comes into the ring, hitting Solo Sikoa in the back with the guitar. Solo, it did not faze him. He turns around, he's walking up toward Hardy, and then Hardy decides to quickly get out of the ring. Solo turns around, he gets hit with a jumping knee to the face by Elias. Elias grabs the pieces of the broken guitar, climbs up the top turnbuckle, and he jumps off. But then when he jumps off, he gets hit with a Samoan spike by Solo. Solo then grabs him, has him on the ring apron, and they hit spinning Solo onto Elias, off the ring apron, onto a piano, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Elias defeated Solo Sikoa tonight on Raw. That's what happened. Pretty good match. I give that match 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good, entertaining match. I'll say that for the most part. So yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Usos and Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens and the Street Profits up next in a 6-man tag team match. So yeah, that match is going to be happening up next. But yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So, the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 6-man tag team match. It was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and Sami Zayn, the Bloodline, versus Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, and Kevin Owens in a 6-man tag team match. And this match was a pretty good match. At the ending of this match, we see Montez and Sami on the top turnbuckle. Looked like Sami was going to hit like a superplex onto Montez, but Montez knocks him off the top turnbuckle. But since Montez is already up there, he jumps off with a frog splash onto Sami, pins him. 1, 2, the pin gets broken up by, I think it was Jey Uso breaking up the pin, and then Angelo Dawkins is brawling with Jey and takes him out. They're out the ring and takes him out, and then we see Jimmy and stuff get beaten down and stuff, and Sammy got thrown over this out the ring as well. Montez jumps over the top rope with the front flip onto Sammy and Jimmy, and then we see Kevin Owens coming up and all that stuff, but then while he was about to deal with Jey Uso, we see Solo Sikoa come up, hitting a Samoan spike onto Angelo Dawkins, taking him out. Kevin Owens has enough of it. He jumps and starts brawling with Solo. And then while he's brawling with Solo, Jey hits a super kick onto Kevin, taking him out. And then into the ring, we see Sami Zayn and Montez Ford back into the ring. Montez was dealing with Sammy, and then Jimmy pops up on the apron. Montez knocks him off the apron. Montez turns around, he gets hit with a haluva kick by Sammy, and gets pinned for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Sami Zayn and the Usos defeated the Street Profits and Kevin Owens tonight in the 6-man tag team match. That's what happened. It was a really good 6-man tag team match, but then after the match ended, we see the Usos and all them grabbing Kevin Owens, throws him into the ring, and they're all beating him down and stuff. Solo gets out the ring, grabbing a steel chair. Sammy was like, hold up, let me use the steel chair onto him. And then while he gets the steel chair passed over to him in his hands, that's when we see Sheamus and Drew McIntyre pop up, coming through the crowd, attacking Sammy and Solo outside the ring, and gets inside the ring, brawling with Usos as well, taking them out. So yeah, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre helped out Kevin Owens and the Street Profits tonight on Raw after the match. But yep, that's what happened for that match and what happened after the match. I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match. So yeah, still to come later on tonight, we will see Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory 1-on-1 for the United States Championship. That match will be happening later on tonight, and many more matches. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was Dexter Loomis versus Chad Gable with Otis at ringside Alpha Academy in a 1-on-1 match. So yeah, Dexter Loomis versus Chad Gable, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth pretty much. Dexter Loomis was, beaten down. Gable, like, he hit like a leg drop in a weird way pretty much. And he almost got Chad Gable for the 3 count, but Gable kicked out at 2. But then, eventually, Chad Gable rolled out the ring. Dexter Loomis follows him out there, and he's going at it with Chad Gable, and then he gets face-to-face with Otis pretty much. And then Gable comes up hitting a knee to the back onto him, and then runs him into the ring post, and then Otis was trying to take control, trying to hit like a discus clothesline onto Dexter Loomis at the ring post, but Loomis moves out the way, and Otis smacks the ring post. Loomis gets back into the ring, goes with Chad Gable a few more times, and like reversals and stuff. Gable rolls him up for the pin, but Loomis pretty much rolled back through after the count of 2, rolling into a pin onto Chad Gable, and then pins up for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Dexter Loomis defeated Chad Gable tonight on Raw. That's what happened. So yeah, that's what happened there for that match. I'll give it 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match. And then after the match ended, we see a video package with Cody Rhodes, which was pretty nice. It was part 1 of his story of him pretty much coming back to WWE and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty good stuff. But still to come later on tonight on Raw in the main event, it will be the United States Champion Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins 1-on-1 for the United States Championship. So yeah, that match is still to come later on tonight on Raw. So yeah, see you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a tag team match. So let's go ahead and talk about it. There's a lot of stuff that went down. So we kick off the next part with this segment with Bayley and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Damage Control makes their way down to the ring. Bayley grabs the mic, starts talking about how Damage Control formed at SummerSlam and all that, and how, Dakota Kai and Io Sky are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and how she's been doing pretty good for herself by defeating Becky Lynch a few weeks ago. And then Becky Lynch heard all that stuff, comes walking out with a mic in her hands, and she says that Bayley can't do nothing by herself. She had to get some help for her to pick up a win against her a few weeks ago and all that, and that Bayley's always in somebody else's shadow, just like how she's in Dakota Kai's and Io Sky's shadow, like how she was in other people's shadows a few years ago. So yeah, that's what Becky Lynch was saying, and Becky Lynch was talking about how a few weeks ago that she called Dakota Kai and Io Sky Bayley's lackeys, but now she thinks that Bayley's their lackeys. So yeah, that's what Becky Lynch was saying, and then Bayley was like, "Well, if you want to keep on talking crap, how about this? You could go find yourself a tag team partner, and you could come and face Dakota Kai and Io Sky." And Becky Lynch was like, "Well, I don't got no phone on me, so I'm down to go fight them right now." And then we get the match underway. It was Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Becky Lynch in a 2-on-1 handicap match. That match is going on for a little bit. Becky's doing pretty good for herself, but obviously the numbers is pretty much too much. Bayley's at ringside, by the way. And then during this match, we see Mia Yim come down, and she gets on the apron. So now it became a regular tag team match with Becky Lynch and Mia Yim versus Damage Control. So yeah, it was going back and forth and everything. At one point, we see Becky Lynch and Mia Yim hit a double superplex onto Dakota Kai off the top turnbuckle. Mia Yim pins Dakota Kai, but then the pin gets broken up by Io Sky, and then Becky and Io Sky's going at it. They get knocked out the ring and all that stuff. And then there was one cool moment where Dakota Kai's on the ring apron, actually, like poking her head like through the second rope, and that's when Mia Yim hits like a Hurricane Rana onto her, by her Dakota's face smacking the mat and stuff. Mia Yim goes for the pin. 1, 2. Bayley grabs Dakota Kai's foot, putting it on the ropes. The referee sees it, calls for rope break. So yeah, that's what happened there. Mia Yim's talking crap to Bayley, but while she's talking crap to Bayley, that's when Io Sky tags in herself from Dakota Kai. So yeah, Io Sky's the legal woman at that point. Becky Lynch had enough of Bayley, so Becky Lynch starts attacking Bayley outside the ring, and then that's when Mia Yim grabs Dakota Kai, hitting Eat Defeat onto her. But as soon as she hit Eat Defeat onto Dakota Kai, that's when Io Sky hits the moonsault off the top turnbuckle onto Dakota Kai, onto Mia Yim, and then pins her for the 3 count. So yeah, Damage Control defeated Becky Lynch and Mia Yim tonight in a tag team match. That's what happened. It was a pretty good tag team match. Go check it out if you have yet. I give that match 3.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. From it being like a handicap match into a tag team match, it was pretty good stuff. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Kathy Kelly interviewing Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is talking about the match tonight against Austin Theory, how Austin Theory claims this and that and that and this and all that stuff. And then Seth Rollins is talking about how 2023 is becoming a lot more like 2022, with the Bloodline trying to invade his show, but he ain't going to allow that to happen. And then he was talking about how he's going to defeat Austin Theory and become the new United States champion and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Seth Rollins is saying. But yeah, he'll be taking on Austin Theory later on tonight in the main event for the United States Championship. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a main event. But before I talk about the main event, there was a few things that happened. So we see Byron Saxton catching up with Alexa Bliss, interviewing her, talking about the stuff that with Bianca Belair and stuff. And Alexa Bliss was talking about how Bianca Belair knows that she's dangerous now, and she's the one that Bianca needs to be looking out for Alexa Bliss and not nobody else. So yeah, that's what Alexa was saying. But then we see the video going on with Dominic and Rhea Ripley trying to attack Rey Mysterio and stuff, and with Dominic getting arrested and all that stuff. And then Dominic was talking about I spent hard times in the prison and stuff like that. So it was just funny stuff, you know. Just funny stuff. He goes like, a prison could change a man and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm a changed man. But yeah, pretty funny stuff with Dominic. Not even gonna lie. and not to think about it now, I think Judgment Day hasn't even been on Raw tonight, so yeah, that's wild as well. But yeah, after that, we finally get to the main event. It was the United States Champion, Austin Theory, versus Seth Rollins, 1-1 for the United States Championship in the main event for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, we get into the match. It was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Seth apparently hurt his leg during this match, going through like a little injury. throughout the whole match and all that stuff. Theory trying to go after the leg and all that. But then at one point in this match, we see Seth try and hit like the curb stomp onto Theory, but his leg gave out and all that, and Theory gets up and he goes like, no, screw this match, I'm tired of it, I'm leaving out of it. He grabs the United States Championship trying to walk away, and Seth quickly grabs him, throws him back into the ring. Theory was trying to hit him upside the head with the United States Championship, but he gets hit with a super kick by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with a frog splash onto Theory, pins him 1, 2, Theory barely kicking out at 2, and then they was going at it for a few more seconds, and then Theory goes behind Rollins, pushes Rollins into the referee, knocking out the referee, and then Rollins is trying to fight back. And then at one point, Rollins hit the pedigree onto Theory. And then that's when another referee runs down the ramp. Rollins goes for the pin on Theory. And the referee counts 1, 2, Theory barely kicking out at 2. And then Rollins and Theory going back at it a little bit longer. And then Theory was trying to push Seth Rollins into the second referee. But the second referee ducks. And while he's ducking and all that, that's when Theory takes the opportunity, hitting a low blow onto Seth Rollins, and then hitting a chop block to the leg, picks Rollins up, and then hits A-Town down onto him, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Austin Theory defeated Seth Rollins tonight on Monday Night Raw, and he has retained the United States Championship. That's what happened. Pretty good match. I would say that was a match of the night. For that match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's why I'll give it, or 4.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good main event. I'm not even going to lie. It went on for a minute. It was really good. So, yeah, I'll say that was match of the night in my opinion. But, yeah, for tonight's Monday Night Raw, it was a pretty good episode. Not a bad one. For tonight's episode for Raw, I'll give it 8 stars. That's why I'll give it. Pretty good main event. I like the bloodline, attacking everybody and all that stuff. Pretty good stuff. So, yeah, that has been my WWE Monday Night Raw January 2nd, 2022 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Vales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. They'll all be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown reviews and this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite reviews. See you guys later. Until then.